Okay. All right. Thank you, Francis. Thank you so much for having me over. It's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege. And this is like one of my favorites, especially because I'm talking to the majority of people here. Of course, I see some American friends, I see people from England, but the majority of you are right there where I was born in Uganda, in Africa, and for me, I am in this part of my life where I get to come and share some notes, not be an expert, but say, hey, here's what I've discovered about this or that. And so it's a privilege. It's a joy. It's a joy. A joy. And when Future Dan contacted me, I said yes. The answer was yes. And here we are. And also, this is the first speaking event of the year for me as well. So to start the year this way, Happy New Year, happy 2026. And so let us begin. We're going to talk about excellence, excellence, excellence. This is a passion area for me, huge passion area for me. The topic, excellence as a mindset, not an outcome. Okay, I tell you a story. I was coming back from to Uganda to visit from Chicago with a friend of mine. His name is BJ, and BJ owns one of the largest crane companies in America, like a multi million dollar corporation. And he was coming to maybe see opportunities to invest in Uganda. So I was like, yeah, Uganda is the place to, I'm excited. So we get to the airport and our bags are late. They didn't make it, didn't make it. So while people are just, upset, so I just rush quickly to be the first at the lost luggage table to, to file our lost luggage, report. So our bags could be brought to, I think we're going to stay at the I don't know where we're, the hotel. So I'm just there. I'm there. I'm just okay, yeah, and nobody's there. Now there's a line. Now there's like 30 people because a lot of bags didn't come. The line is very long. So I'm like, okay. But I am the first one. So I'm excited. So we get so eventually she comes, the lady comes. She comes with her like she was wearing sandals, but sandals which we did not need to know they're sandals, but we knew they were sandals by the way she walked. She was like, "Psika, psika, psika, psika." She comes and she's like very slow, by the way. She's very late, long line, very slow. She comes by very slow. So I'm like, okay, good, she's here. So she comes, she tries to pull her chair. He takes, she's setting up her table, and she pulls out. And now she's talking to the next table, the next table over, and she's saying, Kakatiha, how was you? How are your children? How are you? So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, so, because I'm like, okay, can we please? So then she pulls out a big book, which has rubber bands, like seven rubber bands. I don't know why. Boom, in front of me. Then then she's "Ikakati omwana," talking about to the kid, about his friend's colleague. Ikati, what are you going to do about your child? So, and I kind of want to say something, but I better not because I kind of think I shouldn't because, it's my place. Dennis, be patient. So my American friend is like visibly now irritated a little bit because he started to say, okay, Dennis, whew, man, when any time now would be great. Anytime today would be great. I'm like, being American sarcasm. So I'm like, yeah, I know it's gonna be easy. She's gonna get to it. So I'm thinking, "Ikakati." So I'm trying to kind of speak Luganda a little bit to say, "Ikakati nyabo, oh, watu wangu weko, like let's hurry up a little bit." Oh no. When I said that, she almost on purpose, like now she's going to now make sure her chair is okay. So she moves her chair one more time. She looks at the book. She now looks she starts at the beginning of the book. It's almost the end of the year. So the book, she starts with January, February, March. She's almost like torturing me, and looking at me Like, how dare you do whatever you want to do? So I'm like, and now I'm thinking, okay, okay, Dennis, calm down. So then she grabs pen. She now looks for a pen. She grabs the first pen. She starts to write. Pen is her. She drops that one, finds another one very slowly, and she starts to. It doesn't work either. Reaches over to her friend and says, "Oh, you know a pen? Do you have a pen that works, please?" So, and I'm like, "Mm." Now I'm like, this is really bad. So finally, she finds a pen that works. And then she starts to open the thing, to find the column, and wants to figure out what date it is, and wants to slowly begin to take my report. What bag? What color? Blue? What sort of blue? Very slow. Guys, I left the place eventually, like 25 minutes later, filing a line. And I was like, oh my goodness, I, I, this is, Namutebi has a good job. Namutebi is skilled. Namutebi, but the way she thinks, she's skilled, she's got a good job, she's got power, because the, the more I challenged her authority. And now she's trying to show me I can control you right now. I get to do what I want when I want. I just walked out of the airport thinking, that's our problem. It's excellence. It's excellence. It's not skill. She can fill out the thing. In fact, she was able to file my missing luggage report, our missing luggage report. She did it. She did her job well. But excellence. Why don't you have the book ready? Why aren't you at the table ready? Why aren't you smiling? Why? There's people skills. I could tell you 7 things that are wrong with the thing. Excellence. I've got doctorate degrees. My first doctorate degree is actually in this area. I researched the science, what I call the science of achievement, a sense of achievement, why people succeed and make it in any whatever. Because I took African farmers, Chinese fishermen, I took European CEOs and car manufacturers, successful people across the planet, different fields, and that was my research. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about from that space, but also from experience. The bottom line, friends, is yes, excellence is and must be a mindset, not an outcome. But can we unpack it a little bit here? When we acquire what I call, because Namutebi, and I'll call it Namutebi has she's missing what I call capital. Basic human capital. These are elements that form what I call the infrastructure of the mind, the way she thinks. She is skilled, but the way she thinks, the architecture of the mind. Because excellence does not begin with opportunity, it begins with thinking. Thinking. Christians here know Paul's scripture, be ye transformed. How? Transform. In fact, transform, the Greek word is metamorpho, which means like how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Yeah, one form to another. Be ye transformed. How? Paul is saying you need to scale up. How do you scale up? He gives the map, the key, by the renewing of your mind. Friends, it begins with the mind. The caterpillar must begin to think like a butterfly. It can become a butterfly because it goes through this process, but it is hanging on the wall, on the tree. It is used to every day. Look for leaf to leaf, but it has changed. But until the caterpillar begins to think like a butterfly, it won't fly. it's going to want to crawl up with its wings, crawling up. Caterpillars crawl, butterflies fly. Again, this is not theory to me. Fine, I've given you the credentials here academically. In fact, I run, this is why this is important. I have run one of my first things I did, I'll tell you a little bit later. Mukono. I was born in Mukono, there in Uganda, Mukono. Life was telling me you're not gonna grow up much. You're because life, early life. There's danger. There's Idi Amin, and then there's Rutwa. There's Rure. There's things you guys don't even remember. The younger people who are here don't even remember because you were not here. You were not here. We would just jump off bodies on our way to school. Life was tough. You got to school late. You didn't have a place for your textbooks. You had to use your lap. It was tough, you know. But I began to push back because I could see, I don't think I'm going to be okay. I do not think I'm going to be okay. I'm not think I'm going to be okay. Um, so push back, push back. No, 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 I will. Of course, I became a Christian, which helped because now my heart was good. I did not have to depress. I did not have to be Jesus came and comforted me. But externally, things are still bad. So I go to church and I start to become a drummer and I liked drumming and I was really, really good. I became a really good drummer at church because I wanted to contribute, you know? And but I then they were telling me you're a drummer, but I began to be curious about the choir and I had to push back because now my crowd was telling me you're a drummer, you're a really good drummer, you will drummer forever you will be. Well, no, I pushed back. Boom, joined the choir. Choir became good, became really good. My voice broke. I go from tenor to alto, alto to tenor. So I'm good. I'm actually starting to lead little solos. Crowd starts to tell me, you're a choir, you're a singer, choir boy. In fact, they call me Little David. Push back. I began to push back. Inside of me, there's more. We formed a group called New Wave Band, Pastor Kayanjas. We were really good, you know. Band became good. In fact, we went to Pastor Robert and said, "Hey, can we service starts at 10? Can we start playing at 8?" What? Yeah, because we want to play. That became a drawing point for kids to come, young people to come. And we started to grow the church. Church grew, Miracle Center grew, and we started to, well, now that's what you're gonna be. You are a Mudongo, because I was the choir director, band director. Pushback. Some more inside of me. Some more inside of me. But I would, at every level, I would become really good. When I was a drummer, I did so good that I even created drum patterns which spread across the churches all over Kampala and across and over. When I was a choir, I did really choir real good. I could read so far. I could do this. Yeah. Then I became an artist. I became everywhere I went. I did more than what was required of me. And by doing more, I was promoted, not because out of ambition, but because promotion. In fact, all promotion is a result of doing more than what's required of you, over qualifying for your present assignment. Wherever you are, overqualify, and promotion will take your hand and pull you. So we're Badongo. Now I'm overqualified. I'm overqualified. Me, Paulo, Isaac, overqualified. Guys come from England. Come to England. You're so good. You need to come to London. London? What? Boom. Next thing, we're in London. Now we're there. We begin to sing. Again, overqualified. We didn't stop practicing. Qualified. Long story short, in fact, we're releasing a book in a memoirs of Limit X in a few months. We changed the group name in London to Limit X, but they wanted us to be a Ugandan group. We're like, a bit more overqualified. We can do what the English can't do. What? Yep, we did. And we won the award 1992 Best British New Artist. You guys don't know that. At the American equivalent of the Stellar Award. So, I mean, British equivalent. So again, overqualifying. What happens? Then they invite us to Chicago. Chicago? What? Chicago. So we're in America now. Americans, whoa, they can sing. A guy on a train, a sweeper at a train station can sing more than Anybody ever heard? I mean, this guy, in fact, when we landed in Chicago, this man is at the train station. He's going, hey, oh, oh, hey, hey. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, whoa, we're here to sing? He's he's sweeping the floor, but he sings better than me. So what do? Scale up, push back. That we did. We brought out our African stuff and we started to just go Malibongwe. And the Americans were like, whoa, we've never seen this. Uh-huh. End up signing a 5 record deal. And now everybody's saying, now you guys are great. And we won awards, 40 countries. The group became big. Still today, Lemon X, one of the biggest gospel music trios out of Africa in African history, is still Lemon X. Okay. Um, okay. But inside of me, there's more. There's more. Pushback, overqualified, because now I could talk. Now I'm doing interviews with the BBC, Voice of America, about Limit X, but I could talk. I could talk. I could think. I started reading books. I overqualified for where I was. And guess what happened? Now I am running a school. I am getting back to school. Wait, I didn't go to school because my daddy died before I could go to school. So I had to go to school online. No, online by correspondence because there was no online. So boom, I get a master's, a bachelor's, master's, PhD, doctorate, first 2 doctorates. Now, wait, I'm overqualified, but I'm a singer. No, you're not. Being pulled into education. I opened, which is why this is close to me, the International College of Excellence. 22 campuses, 9 countries. But I'm thinking, that's it. That's me. That's me. That's all I'm going to do. But then I like to write. I like to write. Pushback. What am I saying? Pushback. Began writing books, and long story short, I became a pastor. Long story short, now I train leaders, been to 91 countries, 20th book. I own a publishing house, and these things that God's done. 5 children, gonna be married 30 years this year in April. Seasons. See, each season presents resistance. Push through the resistance. Boom. Promotion. Next. Somebody's probably saying, well, but you're special. I'm not. In fact, I wish you knew how unspecial I am. What I am really good at is think. I learned how to think. I acquired the infrastructure of the mind. So I transitioned from survival to what I call agency. Because, friends, I know you're like, wait, are we talking about excellence? Yes, I'm unpacking excellence because excellence is an idea, is a result of something. Excellence in and of itself is not, it's an abstract. It's an abstract. It's like faith. You can't touch it. It's a doing thing. Excellence is a result of an architecture of the mind, of the way you are thinking. 10% of your, because people say, well, I don't have these opportunities. I'm not in America. You're in America. I live in Texas, and we have a global ministry now, a global ministry. We have schools. I train leaders. I do all these things. You're lucky. I'm like, I want to laugh every time they say, but you're lucky. I'm like, what? No. You know what I am? I am relentlessly tenacious. 10% of the outcome of your life is what happens to you. Yeah, I was raped. I am a woman. I'm a Ugandan. No, that's not 10%. All of it. 90% of what happens to you is how you respond to what happens to you. 90% of your life, of the outcome of your life, is not going to be the events that hit you. It doesn't matter whether you were born in Madagascar or by Cuba. I don't care. Poor. In fact, the people who we admire, that we read about, those people, all of them have stories about, I've forgotten the stat, handicapped, couldn't read, the highest achievers in the world, ADHD, mental stuff, suicide ideation, homeless, Holocaust survivors, whatever. If life hits you, ooh, come on. Come on. In fact, today I'm around Americans. My team is all American and all that. But I usually say every time when I'm in a hotel, I'm like, I'm so glad I was born in Uganda. What? Because I know you can't really appreciate what you don't, what you've always had. Oxygen, oxygen. I didn't wake up today saying, thank God for oxygen. No. Why? Because I've always had oxygen. But if a day comes when I'm feeling like, guess what? I'm going to, then I start, suddenly I go, I'm going, oh, thank God I can breathe. For us, most of you who are listening to me, who have had nothing, who have started out in Africa, we have got this in internal like it's like a yardstick. Because if you started at zero and hit 100, how many know that the one who starts at negative 30 and hit 100 is more grateful? So say to yourself now, I am responsible for my own uplift, not my gender, not my connection, not my government, not the economy, not my parentage, not Proverbs. For as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. How do you think? I'll give you real quick eight. These are the eight pillars upon which we build a life of excellence. Number one, diligence. Namutevi, think about her. Diligent. Be there early. Come on. Faithful with details. Diligence. Diligence. That's bedrock. If you're lazy, forget it. Diligent. Successful people work. They don't work 8 to 5. In fact, I was calling a few friends over Christmas, and I was apologizing, and they're like, Dennis, I don't turn my phone off. I'm like, yeah, I don't either. Do you know I get up at 4:46 a.m. every morning? Why? Don't you want to sleep? Yeah, I want to. I'll sleep when I'm 75. Now, these are my running years. I don't sleep like that. 8 hours, no, for me, 4.5, 5. Ask Ask them. Elon, Trump, ask them. They don't push. The guys that you think, whoa, Putin, they don't sleep 8.5 hours because you're driven to do the hand of the diligent. The Bible says the hand of the diligent makes rich. Rich means rich relationship. Rich. You don't have a marriage because you want it. You have a marriage because you work at it. A good marriage, anyway. You don't feel good because you wish and pray, God, please make me feel good. No, because you get to mind how you're eating. You get to exercise. You work at a thing to have the thing. So diligence. Number one. Number two, resilience, which means if you fall, try again. If you fall, try again. There's no such thing as success all the way. No such a thing. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fail a lot. My story seems like romantic. Oh. Do you know how many closed doors? Do you know how many rejections? Do you know? A lot. But successful people get up again. Not they do. Everybody gets knocked down. Sometimes the difference between a successful person and the one who doesn't succeed is the successful person gets up one more time. Sometimes the champion is not the person who didn't get knocked down. The champion who wins the bout is the guy who kept getting up. So resilience. Number three, attitude, the habits of thought, which we're talking about today. Number four, focus. Focus, discipline of eliminating options. In fact, here, this is a quote. I'm going to give you this and remember, then I'll leave for this. While creativity is the discovery of options, focus is the elimination of options. If you climb 2 trees, just because you have 2 legs doesn't mean you can climb 2 trees. African proverb says, if you chase 2 rabbits, both will escape. So where are you going now? Now, I'm not saying do one thing forever. No, what are you doing today? Do it to the end. Focus. Number 5, which is a sister to focus, is tenacity. Tenacity is the boss gives you this, you do more than that and say, boss, any more? You refuse to stay in your little box. It's a quotient, ability to do more than what you're given. If you only do what you expected of you, then everybody does that. In fact, promotion is a result of doing more than what's expected of you. All promotion. When a boss, because I've got people that work for me, and if I want a job done, I don't go to the guy whose desk is empty. Boss, I'm good. I did everything. No, no, no. Do you know who I go? I go to the guy who they're all hard workers. I go to the guy whose desk has stuff on it because he's doing something. He's doing something. He's the same numbers. This one empty desk. That one desk full. Yeah, desk full. Go to that guy because that guy is on a roll. Number 6, what I call thrift, which is time, how you manage your time. Time, huge, the currency. Time is what you pay to have a good marriage, good business, good invention, skill up, time. Number 7, sociability, which is the ability to relate with people skills, that peopleology. There's a book that I've written actually out even in Uganda. It's called Peopleology, the ability to relate to people. Successful people surround themselves with the right people. It's very hard for us Ugandans, because Africans, because everybody's our friend. Now, you can get along with everybody. You should, especially Christians, you should love everybody, right? But you're not going to be walking with me. If you're walking with me, we have qualifications. Not everybody can just have my number and walk with me. No, are you going somewhere? Number 1. Come on. Do you love me? Do you protect me? Oh, am I going to hear that you're talking about me? Can we dream together? Do you have a dream? You dream. Do you have there's about 5 qualifications of friendship. Friends. Not everybody's your friend. You may have, if you're very blessed, you're going to have maybe 2. There's no such thing as 7 friends. I'm sorry. You can have acquaintances or people that walk with you, but these are my friend. Highly efficient people don't have a lot of like, oh, everybody, because who's a friend? A friend when you are, hey, I've been diagnosed with an illness. Who do you call? That person. Who cries with you? Who laughs with you? Friends laugh with you. When you're promoted, yes. When you're fired, your friend comes and sits with you and cries with you. If they're not these 5 things, I'm sorry, they're acquaintances. And call them that. Don't try to turn them into acquaintances. Friends, if they're acquaintances. God's going to bring you people that will walk with your life, with you. Find them, walk with them, be faithful to them, walk with them long. Amen. So, okay. And 8, adaptability. The ability to do this, ability to do that. The day of you're going to be a carpenter all your life, those days are over. I've written a book called Morph, which is the science of change, how today the taxi driver can become a painter. The teacher can become a potter. It's just what? So when you hear pop psychology, because I got all the books, your one thing, find your one thing, throw it away. Not in the 21st century. You're many things. You're not one thing. If somebody at 15 told me, what are you going to be? I would have said, I'm a drummer. For me, I was born to drum. That's it. Talk to me again at 21. I would have said, I am a singer. I was born to sing all my life. Talk to me about at 30. I would have said, I am an educationist. I was born to do schools and I'm a professor. That's it. That's my life. That's my calling. Talk to me about at 40. Did I say 40 already? At 40. at 40, no, 50 or 50, because I'm 59 this year. 50, sorry, 50, I would have said, I am a writer. I am a writer because I like writing. I like writing. I like writing. I felt those things at all these parts of my life. That how many know God had all of that inside of me? Those who know the scripture, sorry, those who don't relate to Christianity, the scriptures are transcendent. They're big for us who believe. God says, Jeremiah, I know the thoughts that I think toward you. This is God telling, telling us through Jeremiah. And also that I think too. And then it says, they are thoughts to give you a future and a hope. They're good thoughts. What is makashabeth? It means a vivid design. No, and it's pluralized. It's, I have got designs for you. So the idea that you're one thing is not actually limits God. God made you to just be a carpenter. No, you're more. And thank God for the 21st century. 21st century actually allows you to become more than just the one thing. Today, I am all these things. I'm an author. I'm a thinker. I'm a coach. I'm a daddy. I'm a husband. I am a singer too. I can still hold a note. I'm a speaker. I am a counselor. I'm a professor. I am many things. And so are you. Guys, I didn't come on here to tell you how special I am. I'm here to tell you that you can be more. Look at me and see that you can be more. I am a witness of small to great. I am a witness. And after doing that, the reason I can teach this, in fact, my joy now is to teach this science of achievement. My joy now is I can tell the 15-year-old, the 30-year-old, yeah, don't stop. You can become. You can become. Okay. You don't stumble into excellence. It's a choice. It's not a trait. Sorry. It's a daily resolve to go beyond what I call ordinary, to refuse the comfort of just good enough. Excellence, and I'm winding down, it's going to not be long. Excellence is the disciplined commitment, friends, to succeed, to exceed what is expected, to go beyond ordinary. It is proven through consistency. That's why it's a habit. It's doing your best every time without shortcuts, even when no one is watching. In fact, there's no excellence without character. Character is the bedrock for excellence. Character is who are you when no one's there? Who are you when the lights are off? That, your internal, the guy that you are when no one's watching. When you can take that money, do you not take it? When you can sleep with her, do you not? That's internal excellence, because you have to be that. That's what holds up all these virtues that I talked about. Diligence, yeah, because internally. Work ethic, the heart. Let me X as along the way. I remember that we just kept practicing. I remember when we went to London, we didn't have any bookings. And we were kukuwaring Icheyo, we were just like working for a minute because they took us there to sing, but then they dumped us. And so we were just for a minute, for about 5-6 months. We were like, okay, what are we doing? But guess what? We kept practicing every day. No, every weekend, because we're all working every weekend. We wrote songs. We wrote songs that like, what? Yeah. We started recording songs until one day there was a cancellation at a very large church called Kensington Temple. And they said, we need a group to fill the spot. And somebody says, I know this group from Uganda. I don't know if they used to sing. And they contacted us and were like, yep, we can sing. We're ready right now. Because we kept going. We constantly wrote things down, wrote songs. when the lights were turned on that Sunday morning at Kensington Temple, guess what? Whew, we tore it up like we were singing every day. And everybody, guess who was in the audience? The editor for the Black Britain, the editor for the Voice magazine. And next week, Ugandan group takes England by storm. And guess what happens then? Everybody wants us. Then we're all over the place. Then we win that year, Best British New Artist Award 1992. So you were born, 1992, Best British New Artist, Best British New Artist, but we're Ugandans. Why? Kept going. Excellence. Practicing, 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 even though there was no lights. I constantly write things. I read. The books I'm writing now, I started reading, collecting notes. I write like crazy. I take notes. I'm like, oh, that's good. I started to learn to teach before I could teach. Because when the lights come on, when the lights are on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dennis. That's not the time when you say, I need to learn to talk. How do you do an intro? How do you close? How do you keep time? Oh man, I used to put a clock, 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to make a case. Come on, Dennis, go. Myself in the room. There's an audience there. Why? And you ready? Here. My preparation collided with opportunity. You guys know David, right? Little David. David is a really good slinger. Slingers. He goes to deliver bread to his brothers, many, and he hears Goliath. He's like, hey, and everybody runs away. Little David says, what are you doing? And we, God's kids, who is this Philistine? Who's defying the armies of the living God? Come on. And they're like, shh. David was already practiced. I could tell the whole story. We could talk about David the whole time. I won't. Long story short, he slays Goliath. And it's a whole nother talk on thresholds. But people say, David's stone. I've had Christians say, David's rock was filled with the Spirit of God, the power of God. No. David was a slinger. This is research. Slinger. Slingers could shoot birds in mid-air. Can you imagine a bird, a crow, Kampala, and they could, and smaller birds, they could, the velocity of the rock was as fast as a bullet from a pistol, a 9mm pistol. That's how good David was. So when Goliath is like, who is David? Good David is like, I'm gonna get you. In fact, he tells him, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna cut your head off. He tells him what he's gonna do. What is it? Little boy, little 17-year-old, he's telling little Goliath, the mighty Goliath, and then Goliath, come to me, I'll get you. He goes right here. Not because the Holy Ghost directed there. No. He was accurate. He was practiced. The journey from adequate to extraordinary begins the moment you require more of yourself. What emerges in those moments reflects what you have already become, because excellence is a life trained to rise above mediocrity. Everybody. Tinamutevi is not stuck. She just doesn't have excellence. She does not have this basic human capital. She knows she's skilled. She went to school. She knows how to file a report, but she doesn't have this infrastructure, a mind of excellence. Uganda is not stuck at the bottom. Uganda, look at Rwanda, look at some of the other countries are able to do with the same kind of mindset, the same kind of population. It is possible. Countries like Rwanda show us it's possible to take African nomadic people who were culturally sit there, just tend cattle. Oh, you can actually change their mind. And when the mind changes, culture shifts. You're not stuck. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, you're not stuck. Yes, you want a new job, but before that, I propose new thinking. Conclusion. This is not a motivational talk. I don't like motivation. I usually say motivation is like it only is it's as long as it's like taking your hair and for a girl, combing it. Motivation is so temporary. It's like as long as you're engaged, you're good. You walk away, you're not motivated. If some I could motivate you right now, but when you go and find that you were fired while you were listening to this, God forbid, everything, all my motivation is going to go out the window. I am inviting you to a mind shift. Aristotle, the great Aristotle says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Oprah Winfrey, you know Oprah? Black girl who just took the whole entertainment industry by storm, rose to the top. She says, excellence is the best deterrent to racism or sexism. I didn't worry about being black. I just became really good that they couldn't ignore me. In fact, that's my life too. Nobody, friends, is going to hand you anything. No, but you can show up. We've had people showing up. You show up as the best. Do your best. And I'm telling you, Reinhard Bonnke said, what we call great today will be ordinary tomorrow. Yeah, because he did his crusades. It's this guy called Reinhard Bonnke. One of you don't know him. But he said, what we think is good today, great today, will be ordinary tomorrow. Because what you do today is good. But what about tomorrow? So you keep going, keep going. The Beatles, everybody that you can think of, anybody who they say, oh, an overnight success. Every overnight success has spent years in private preparation as a mindset of excellence. What people call special is often disciplined thinking practiced over time. And so our thesis, I know that it's supposed to be excellence as a mindset, not an outcome, but I want to therefore conclude this way. Excellence is an outcome of a mindset. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bless you. I'm done.
Wow. Oh, wow. I don't know how you guys are feeling. How are you feeling, guys? How are you feeling? I would like to see some reactions because personally, the questions I had, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. This is
Thank you,
amazing.
guys. Thank you, guys.
Excellence is disciplined thinking over time. I mean, I have a lot of notes here that I've written, and even the questions that I wanted to ask, I think have been answered. I've been answered. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's share our questions. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that conversation. It was deeply reflective.
Thank you,
I
sir.
had to, think deep and reflect through my journey,
Thank you, sir.
and see how I can streamline a few things here and then. Thank you so
Right.
much. At the beginning of this session, I said this to some of us, this could be a consequential
Yes,
um,
sir.
session. And for me, it has been really, it's a time to define a few things and strategize and see how to scale up from where we are at the
Awesome.
moment. So
Awesome.
thank you so much, Doctor. I'm seeing people are excited on the chat. People are thanking you. Thank you so much, Doctor, once again. So guys, it's now time for us to ask questions. Anybody with a question, kindly raise up your arm. We should be able to see you and unmute. I don't know if I have some questions in the chat. Kindly let me know, Patrick and the team. If there is any question, kindly forward it to me so that I can be able to read it out loud. People are asking for episode 2. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Joseph says, so these 7 friends I have, they are just acquaintances. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
as
because
as
because Africans we use that. Real quick, we got married with my wife, and for 10 years, I was introducing her. This is my best friend. This is my best friend. Now, my wife is from Romania, so she says, "Okay, Dennis, do you love me?" When they ask that, you're like, what do you mean?" Said, "You, how come you never introduced me to all your friends?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because every day I keep meeting a new friend. I'm like, then that's when it hit me that I'm using the term loosely. They're acquaintances, but they're not friends. And I love them. They're my buddies, my homies, but friend is different. So sorry. And,
okay.
and
Thank you, Doctor. Maybe as questions come through, um, Doctor, you've said so many things, and you said you are so many things, and we are so many things, and
yes, sir.
indeed you are so many things. We can see it from the story, the journey that you've walked us through from right from Mukono up to where you are at the moment, and we have conducted some of these sessions, many of them before, and the major question that comes up is the place of discovery. Okay.
Mm,
Would you mind walking us through that place of discovery, and how were you able to discover yourself through all those things that you are, um,
yeah,
without really confusing it with the so many things? Because there is an issue of really having so many things around you. So how do you really distinguish and separate those ideas and those kind of
yeah,
impressions in your heart
yeah,
to really focus on what to build on?
yeah.
Yes.
It's a dance. It's not as neat as we writers, it's not as simplistic as we writers say. Because when you read a good motivational book, read a good John Maxwell book, you just think, I'm just going to do this. It's not. It's a little bit, okay, first of all, you don't know what you're becoming. So there's no such a thing as preparing. How do you prepare for what you don't know? Oftentimes, like David, I submit to you, David, of course, he was anointed to be king as a boy, but when he challenges Goliath, he's not thinking, I'm going to be, he's not thinking, this is the pathway to king. And then when he doesn't even get there, he's kind of like, what happened? Now he's the king's harpist. Is this what I was anointed to do? Because then the king wants to kill him. Now he's hiding in a cave. Guys, it is not as romantic, as nice and neat. That's why you need friends. But intuitively, and I feel it because it's what I do. I feel it even here. Many of you touch the thing. I've just written a book called Jojo the Shark. It's about change. It's a parable. Maybe that we can do. We can get on and do that at a certain point. Very, very important book. But inside of you, there is more, but you don't know that there is more. And sometimes it's an inner invitation to. Sometimes it sounds like a curiosity. Hey, what if I can drive a truck? What if I can sell trucks? Wait, what if I can manufacture paper? It's like, what? It's usually the thing that annoys you, the thing that bothers you, the thing that upsets you. Sometimes you can, for example, be with a friend and see homeless kids. He's crying or she's crying about, she's like, oh my God, those kids have nowhere to go. So you're like, oh, Hamby, it's really bad for the kids. But for her, it's like she's messed up with, whoa, guess what? That's a hint that perhaps she's being invited to solve that problem. So it's not as sick as romantic as straight lined. In fact, it has to be crooked by design because you need to scale up, get the skills to scale up. But at this point of invitation, It takes faith. Guys, it takes faith to do the thing you've never done before. I'm writing a book right now called The Seven Deadly Delusions. The delusion that, for example, we're being told, your generation, especially you young people, you're being told, you got to know what you're going to do. You're going to do, hey, you got to know exactly what you're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. Sorry. You don't know what you're doing. Now, if you've got, of course, if you've gone to become an accountant, you know how to do books. But as far as jumping from trade to trade, jumping, you don't know what you're doing. So it's the delusion of certainty. The delusion of certainty, meaning everything should be clean. That's a delusion. It's not. So when you hit a roadblock, you're like, this is really bad. This is really bad. No, I want this generation to actually know when things go crazy, that is life. You're not cursed. Don't go praying harder. Don't go. In fact, God will sometimes lead you to pressure so you can strengthen up. In fact, all pressure, all strength comes from pressure. All the traits of character come from pressure. Kindness, pressure. How do you become kind? How do you become patient? Because you know how to wait longer than you want. But if you think waiting is a curse, you're in trouble. You'll never be strong. How do you become strong? Is you're hit by stuff. Bish, bish. I am strong. I'm stronger than most of my people around me right now. Why? Because I grew up in Mukono. Mukono gave me strength than what my American team doesn't have. Because I grew up in America, in San Diego, California. I grew up in Mukono. We were jumping over bodies. So that gave me strength that people don't have. So don't curse your wilderness. Don't curse your journey. Scale up. Scale up. Long answer. Sorry.
Wow. All strength comes from pressure.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Huge. Huge.
Interesting. Wow. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Quite a couple of questions in the chat here. Let me read out some. Okay. Someone here says, Joseph Kiza says, user manuals for childhood are quite many. Is it okay to at times to walk alone since people surrounding us don't share our visions?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, sometimes God will, even God himself will schedule seasons where you are alone. So you learn to rely only on him. Here's the thing, and I tell this to young people, you'd rather be without a friend than be with the wrong one. You'd rather be in a it's worse to be in a relationship and wish you were out than to not be in a relationship. So you'd rather, so sometimes you need to just, okay, there's nobody in my bedroom. In fact, I've created a model for relationships. Most people are just door and bedroom. Your one room heart. Your heart is one room. When people meet you, you guard the door and then you let them in. The minute you let them in, you tell them all your secrets. My daddy had died of this. We had da, 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 da. You release your heart. Guess what? Then they hurt you. You're devastated, and then you shut down. Next person who comes, you shut down even more. Some of you are like fortress. How do you relationship intelligence? It's called RQ. Relationship intelligence, I call it RQ, which means you create a bedroom and a living room, which means when people come, hey, come into my living room. I love you. Hey, how are you? How are you? Don't let them into your bedroom yet. Make them qualify. Do they really care about me? Huh? When I dream, are they paying attention or are they crushing my dream? Are they jealous of me? Do they really cry with me? Do they laugh with me? And then bring one into the bedroom, lock it. All the others are in the. Now, there are many people right now in my life who don't know that they're not in the bedroom. So you don't tell people, you're not in my bedroom. No, no, just don't tell them that We can't pay our mortgage. Oh my goodness. Don't tell them that. Find one or two people that really care about you, and then those are the ones who have your heart. The rest are in the living room. They're okay. You have fun with them. You go to eat with them, but don't tell your heart just to everybody. Don't invite everybody in the recesses of your brain, of your mind, of your heart, because they will hurt you and you will spend time, you will waste time recovering from injuries because you let people in too close too fast.
Well, thank you so much. Amos, your hand is up. Kindly unmute and ask question. Amos
Kanyerere Amos.
Kanyerere, yes. Um, I think the technical team, kindly, if you're able to unmute, you say something. How do you handle setbacks?
Oh
Barbara is
gosh.
asking,
Yes,
while
Barbara.
pursuing excellence.
Barbara, really quickly, I cry. I I find my friend, remember the one or two, and I say, man, this was so hard. So you're vulnerable because you need to let it out, otherwise it stands to. And then I brush up. I take notes. What did this setback teach me? Now, not right away, of course. I do what's called a forensic examination of the failure. Why did I fail? Did I presume? Did I not prepare enough? Was I too rushed? Was I too emotional? So while you're pursuing it, so that way you don't repeat the mistake. Only a fool repeats the same thing. Now, it doesn't mean that you can have the same I want to call it misfortune happen to you. Yeah, you can lose a job twice, but if you shouldn't make the same decisions, the same terrible decision twice. Now, of course, again, I say that because some of you, you date the wrong guy and he turns out to be wrong. I'm not saying don't date guys again, but what did you do? He hurt you. Did you let him in too close? Did you introduce him to your family too close, too quickly? So cry, be comforted, get up. That's it, Barbara.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Amos, are
Hey,
you still unable to unmute?
yeah, can you get me well now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
can get you.
All right, thank you, thank you so much, Doctor.
You're
I'm really so
welcome.
impressed and happy. Yeah. My question is kind of personal, and
Yes, sir.
now as a person who is in agribusiness, where
Yeah,
sometimes our results are
yeah,
affected by some factors that are beyond our control.
yeah,
And now my question is, how can I maintain this mindset of excellence despite these unpredictable
yes,
outcomes?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
Yes, sir. Um, um, the outcomes are not for you to control. So you cannot assume responsibility of failing at things that are not yours to deliver. There's no electricity. The truck delivery is late. The price fluctuates. You don't own what you're not responsible for. You only own what you're responsible for, meaning you don't beat yourself about, oh my goodness, the market dropped or the price dropped or the government changed this or the rains didn't come or whatever. Those are not, you can't control that. So find out what you can control and then you become really good. Now, part of excellence is contingency thinking. You have to think for the rainy day before it rains. If you don't think for the rain, most people who get devastated business wise did not plan for the rainy day because they assumed it's only going to be sunshine until it rains. Wisdom says there's always going to be ups and downs. So, as a business leader, plan for contingencies, plan to be wiped out. Now, Christians are here saying, no, I don't want to think like that. That's bad. Sorry, that's life. That's life. Life will give you ups and downs. Even believers, even Christians, even pastors. I run apostolic networks with pastors, great leaders yeah, things failed. Whoa, we took all the money and we ordered this thing, and the shipment took too long. All the things are destroyed at the airport, whatever, or the port. So contingencies, plan for contingencies as much as you can, and then get ready to get up if you're hit in a way that's bad. And sometimes, I should also say this, sometimes things are so crazy that you're driven, like you're really devastated, and you're driven out of the industry. And so you prepare for that too. Lord, you've given me agriculture business. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be excellent. But if a day comes and you're wiped away, you don't cry like it's over. Say that, God, thank you that you knew that I would be here, and I'm going to cry, but I'm going to get up because I'm going to look around. I know that you have got plans for me, and maybe God is actually pulling you out of there next. Because I've had people who have been devastated like that, and they go into poetry, and they go into fishing. It's like, oh, okay. So same skills, just climb. You're going to climb until the Lord takes you home.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like you to respond to Fortunate Champire asks, must your purpose in life too, especially when you're trying to find out yourself?
Must your purpose? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Broke up.
Yes.
I didn't hear you. You broke up.
Yes. Let me repeat. Must your purpose? Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you
Must your Must
hear
your
me
purpose do what?
now? The question is, must your purpose in life be your passion? And how do you distinguish the two, especially when you're trying to discover yourself?
Okay. I the idea, and this is going to upset some of you, your thinking on the science of achievement. Don't Sometimes you won't know your purpose until you are in your 70s. Like, oh wow, okay, God had that. The idea of pre-knowing the thing you're supposed to do is overrated. It's overrated because, again, remember again, Jeremiah, I know the thoughts I think toward you. Imagine if, again, remember what I said. If you asked me at 15, I would have said, I am so sure my purpose is to be a singer right here in Uganda. We were going Makerere, Chambogo, all the universities. We were on top. That is what I was born to do. But I was wrong. My purpose was not just to teach and train and write. No, again, even now, what's my purpose? I don't know. I don't think we should ask that question. In fact, I want you, if you take one thing from me today, stop asking that question, because it forces you to limit yourself to the optics, to the opportunities. Because what if God has something completely outside of what you can see? What if it's got something that's too complex for you to see? What if you're going to be an AI guru right now? But no, AI now you can see. But what if 5 years ago you were supposed to be, inside of you, you're an AI guru? The Lord is going to make you and the guy for AI for East Africa. Well, but you're in Jinja and it's 2025. There's no AI. There's no 2020. There's no AI. So imagine if you decided, my purpose is to be a farmer in Jinja. That's it. No. That's why I say, let's just open the lid. And I know this is contrarian to some of my mentors, because John, I do Global Leadership Summit. So John Maxwell and some of these guys are part of this, and some of this, it's simplistic. The science of achievement is sometimes too restrictive. As children of God, I submit to you that God has things inside of you that He has not revealed to you that you would never understand. In fact, if He revealed them to you right now, you would fight them, you would resist them, you would think they're stupid and ridiculous. So, to answer the first question, does your purpose need to be your passion? Inside of your purpose, you'll find passion. You will love it. You have to love it in order for you to wake up at 4 a.m. to do it. In fact, your purpose, in order to maximize your purpose, you have to do more than what you're required to do. Now, of course, if it is filing cabin files, that can't be a passion. You're not a filing assistant, an office manager. That's not a passion. But there are people that I've met who are like, oh man, I love delivering mail. There's a man who's 75 years. All he did was wake up in the post office and deliver mail and go from house to house. Mr. Johnson, everybody, he got up at 4 a.m., took his cup of tea, and that was his passion. So let's not get too tied up with the terms, but you do what's next, what's in front of you, really hard, really well, and it will open the door to what's next for you. Don't, otherwise it causes anxiety. I'm not doing my purpose. I'm not doing my purpose because now I'm doing JO here. I'm a maid. No. Let's not. Can we stop all of that? Because this is pop psychology. Pop psychology is hurting your generation. Your generation is scrolling and finding these little truisms that are not applicable in many circumstances. So I am here to tell my African friends, especially the world over, actually, in fact, I'm telling the Asians too, let's calm down on simplistic thinking, and just do the passion that God has placed inside of us that we don't even know. Be diligent here, show up here, and if something begins to stir up, read about it, prepare for it, then jump. You'll see where it's going to take you. It's going to be amazing.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much, Doctor. We have quite a number of questions coming in. We have about 10 minutes or so to go, so we'll have some of those questions answered later on. But Doctor, there is a question coming in from YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well, so there are people who are streaming in from YouTube. And there are quite many, but let me just maybe share one.
Yes.
This person says that in the journey of excellence, how do you deal with distractions, especially those beyond your control?
One of the, because remember the foundational these agency, when I talk about agency, they're one of the foundational pillars with which on which we build excellence is is um is focus. And it's a discipline, it's a habit, it's doing a thing until you're done. It's see, here is a quote from one of my books. While creativity is the discovery of options, focus is the elimination of options. Because you're no good to me if you're focused on that and that and that and that. No, what are we doing today? I get up every day with 9 things to do, and I get to decide which is first, which is second, which is third. So focus is a trait. You need to train yourself to shut windows down, to close files. But again, it's trained, and if you sometimes it's a manifestation of intellectual laziness to just to want to do everything in front of you, to want to do because lazy people want to do this. You don't do it enough. You do that. You do that. No. Successful people stay with a thing until it's done. Stay with it. Stay with it. That's something that I actually have a problem with when I come to Uganda. I'll tell you a story. I visit sometimes very important people's offices, in Uganda, and so I get in there, and look, this is a beautiful office. This is like a head of state, or all over Africa, important people. So, I mean, he's for security, everything is marble, it's beautiful. And then I look at the wall, and there's a plug that is hanging like this. So I'm like, Igwe, can't you get one of your boys there to just and it's okay. So I don't touch it. I come back the following year. There's still the plug is still hanging, or there's a chandelier and there's a light bulb that's missing. And this is a mindset of excellence. Just do it all, do it well, be diligent here, and God will open doors because to whom much is given, much more is required. And so it's a headspace, but you get to train yourself. And this talk takes you, it encourages you to begin a journey. You know what? I'm going to close files. It's the beginning of the year. I don't have to go through your address book. In fact, when I gave myself a gift, I looked at my chat room my WhatsApp inbox, and it was zero. And I was like, yes, which means I had dealt with all of my to-dos. Throw things away. Look at your relationship list. This is when you do it this year, and we'll talk at the end of the year, and you'll see how much more you will have done.
Well, this one has struck me, Doctor. Sometimes it's a manifestation of intellectual laziness to want to do everything. That was a strike. It's a strike for me. Anyway, thank you. Then, second last question. Arjuna Matha says, what can one do to fill the gap between start and breakthrough?
First, get your heart right, deal with your emotional injuries, because I see people who are up on a mountain and all the money and all the success didn't feel that, which is why life with God is important. And if you've got God, then be serious, because I also see that over in Africa, actually around the world, where now we have a cosmetic God. We go to church, but we're Christians by name only, whatever. Because that centers your spirit, man. You have shock absorbers where things hit you, you know where to go. Okay, because you're all going to fail, first of all. There's no such thing as uphill all the way. No, there's going to be failures. But in fact, successful people look at failure not like unsuccessful people, because you don't look at failure as a stopper. You look at failure as, okay, let's relaunch. Let's do it better. Let's maybe, Lord, maybe I was missing something. So deal with your heart. Get your heart right with God. It's a big. Then get your injuries. Low self-esteem, rejection, critical spirit. Some people are so critical you can't even plan with them. You sit in a room and it's like, that won't work. That won't work. It's like, if we're dreaming, can we dream now, please? Remember, before there's achievement, everything that we see was at first a dream. Somebody dreamed that, what if there are two people on the East Coast and the West Coast and they can talk to each other without seeing each other? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Boom, telephone or telegram. So telegraph, is it telegraph? So anyway, dream, be light, rejection, deal with your heart, and then study up. The thing you want to be, become so good at it. Know about even before you get it. If you were given capital right now to do the thing, what would you do? God isn't going to give you capital before you think about what to do with it, because you're going to waste it. You're going to pay bills. No, this is capital to start a business. Elon Musk, you guys know Elon sells this company called PayPal for, I think, some $100 million, enough for him to retire and never work again. He takes all the money, puts it in SpaceX, and is renting a little apartment, and is actually broke because he had pre-planned what he would do with the money. of course, SpaceX, and also Tesla. Boom. Now, $700 billion company. Man, no, he's worth $700 billion. Okay, I know this American experiment example, but there's people in Uganda, people who find a man, a woman who has actually walked where you need to walk. Take them to tea and say, how did you do it? So you get around the mindset of the thing you want to do. Otherwise, you don't. It's only a fool who makes mistakes while surrounded with library, a library. The old people, the Wazeis, are libraries of what to not to do, stupid things they've done. So take that mosaic out and say, hey, how did you deal with this? How did you do that? So sessions like this are important because I get to tell you it's not as glamorous. Because I could tell you, I could give you a motivational talk. You are amazing. You are good. Now go. Motivation. Pff. Tomorrow, something hits you, you forget everything I say. But you won't forget this. It's going to be bumps in the road. Watch your friends. Not everybody's your friend. God's got something inside of you. This is not your end. Walk it out. You're young. Use your time wisely. So I can give you practical, tools to walk out the thing that's inside of you that you don't know yet. Everybody here that I see, all of us, how many? 48 of us right here. There's something inside of you, and of course YouTube and all over the place. So God has got something inside of you. He doesn't make wandering generalities. He doesn't say, "Oh, this one is mukura. He's good. You're just no." Now, not everybody is supposed to build monuments. No, but there's something inside of you that God made you to do. Find it by doing, not by revelation. You find it by diligence. The hand of the diligent maketh rich, causes success. All
Wow.
right.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor. This is a spark, really.
Thank you, sir.
Just briefly before we wind up here, someone is asking that if you're younger, like him at 22,
Yes,
what
sir.
would be the best investment you could walk towards?
Find a mentor and mentors. Find the man, the woman who has gone through where you are, where you're going to go through. Books, read books, but information, skill up. I call it, there are two schools of learning. One is called the school of experience, where you're going to do things, get hurt, and then maybe learn. There's another school called the school of instruction, where you can acquire knowledge that will equip you to pass the tests, because the tests are going to come. And I say experience it is a harsh teacher, because she gives you the test before she teaches you. You're 15 years old and you're pregnant. Now you know I shouldn't sleep around like that. But you're pregnant. It's too late to learn the lesson. That instruction trains you before she gives you the test. So the 15-year-old needs to get around a mama who says, these boys. So surround yourself with information, with guys who have done what you're going to do, and then pray that God will help you, give you the wisdom and the discernment. Discernment meaning to know he's lying. He's lying to me. In the discernment to know what to jump over and what not to. So, but mentors, huge, huge, huge.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very striking session. Very, very striking. Quite a number of nuggets here to take home.
Thank you, sir.
And I believe it's a spark for many of us here to go back and examine ourselves. This has been a very, it was a reflective session, really, for us to go back and think deeper, to see how we can streamline ourselves and get into the next level of our lives. Thank you so much. Remember, Dr. Dennis says that it's only a fool who makes mistakes while surrounded by a library. So please wake up from wherever you are, and start utilizing a library around you. So Dr.
Yeah.
Dennis, kindly give us your parting shots and we
Parting
close up.
shots. Yes. First of all, you didn't choose where you were born. For years, I wished that I was born in California, London, Japan, da, da, da. Now I don't. I'm actually grateful to have been born where I was born. Besides, I didn't get to choose where I was born. So you can't choose that. So stop mourning about what life has given you. In fact, I say this, I usually write this, that every man must row with the oars that he's been given, man or woman. So instead of going, I want better rows, I want for me, how come his oars are? No, no, no. Take your rows, your oars, and come on, come on. I've met guys like Stevie Wonder who was born blind. Look at what he's done with his oars. So stop pitying yourself because that doesn't help you. And I will see you at the top. I want to see you at the top. That doesn't mean, again, you're going to be rich and mighty. No, no, no. I'll see you at a place where your voice and the thing inside of you will be heard. Everybody here, you're curious. You're curious because this conversation, the topic isn't like for people who just want to get rich or whatever. Just no, it's people who want to do more. Excellence as a mindset. Some people, most of your friends are not even thinking about excellence. What? No, no, no. Excellence. The ability to scale up long before, to go beyond ordinary. This is a gift. And I'm going to be, I think I'll tell you, I don't like hit and run. The things I've told you are going to take time to unpack. I'm creating a school in our college called a School of Excellence, actually, where you can learn these things. But also I'll be in Uganda, for example. I'll be in Uganda in April, and we're talking about a live session where we can really talk I want to meet you guys. I want to look you in the eye. I've just done this. I do Kigali and Kenya. I do Zambia, and I don't do much in Uganda, but it's my home. So I'll be there in April. I think future then we'll let you know when exactly we're talking. But I would love to meet you. Let's get in a room and let's challenge each other to grow. I am committed to you, and I'll be happy to come back when life allows. God bless you very much.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Doctor. And we can't wait to see you in December. Doctor has mentioned it. I said I
April.
couldn't mention it.
Yes,
I said
yes,
I couldn't mention it. So he has mentioned it already, and we are
yes, sir.
excited. We can't wait for that time to meet you physically and have an interaction with you, ask those pressing questions on that very day. And we're excited. We are going to work on it and make sure that everyone here is available in that room, and many others who were not able to make it on this session, they'll be able to be in that room that day. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been it. Very, very great session for
Thank you,
today. And
sir.
I'd like to allow Faith to give us a vote of thanks, to give Dr. a vote of thanks. Faith is our colleague. She'll give us a vote of thanks just in 1 minute. Faith, if you're able to unmute, please just say a vote of thanks to Doctor for his time and expertise and wisdom and counsel that he has shared with us tonight. Over to you, Faith.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. It's been a privilege to be here for this particular session. I am very excited and full of nuggets and wisdom. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
But
Thank you,
before
Faith.
I give a parting short, I would love to know what's your favorite book apart from the ones that you've authored?
I think As a Man Thinketh. There's a book called As a Man Thinketh. It's a tiny little book, Napoleon Hill, As a Man Thinketh, because it's also congruent with the Bible and the thinking. Your thinking determines who you'll become. You're as small or as big as your thinking. As a man thinketh, so is he. So that's my favorite. Beside the Bible, of course, it's my favorite book.
Amazing. Thank you very much. That's something for. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. I also appreciate the fact that you are eloquent and articulate. That's really,
you.
really something that's making you be able to elucidate the wisdom that you have inside of you. And we are looking forward to
you.
seeing you in Uganda really this April. I come from Kenya myself, so next
You
time that you're in
do.
Kenya, I'll make sure to be there as well. Yes.
Yes, I'll be there. I think on that leg, the same leg, I'll be in Kenya. I'm gonna work with Future Dan with Anthony with and see if I may give you, if you can restrict the numbers, I may give you access to one of my little books that I've just written. Everybody here, digitally. Maybe it's because it's a book that Jojo the Shark. It's a parable that will actually change your life. I'm gonna see if I can get it to you, so you can disseminate limited, So yeah, Faith, we'll do that, and because I'm really care for everybody here. I don't want you to just hear. I want you to grow, and I want us to have 50 stories at the end of this year that are amazing.
Super amazing. Thank you very much for that kind offer. Really do appreciate it. The good thing is we do have email addresses of everyone who has joined in. So yes,
Super,
the numbers are
awesome.
restricted. And like they
Yes,
have had, I am certain that the wisdom they have, they will not share it out.
wonderful.
Amazing. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Thank you
You're
also for
welcome.
making time, considering you're in a different time zone. Yes, we'll keep sharing the details of the meeting, and we look forward to having you for a season two. Probably not about excellence, but other
Okay,
depths of wisdom that you
you
embody,
got it.
because we
Yes,
learned about your diverse nature. So
thank
thank you
you.
for partnering with Future Den on
Thank you.
this one.
Thank
Do
you.
have an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. Bless you guys. Thank you all very much. It's been an honor talking to you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite talking to my people, and especially who are here from my country. So it's an honor to Africa. Africa is young. Africa is amazing, and Africa needs what God has given to me more than any other country. So any other continent. And so it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you so much. We appreciate. And also would like to thank Dr. Dan. We have Professor Dan here, who is supporting us in one way or the other here.
Awesome.
Professor Dan, I don't know whether you can say something. He's an associate professor of Arian University in Qatar. He's a mentor,
Wow,
and he's supporting us in many ways.
that's
He's
awesome.
supporting us in the background. Dr. Dan, would you like to say something? Doctor, you're still on the call? Okay, I think is unable to unmute. But I'm seeing you on a call, or probably caught up somewhere. But thank you so much, Dr. Dan. Next time probably you say something to us. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a great time. We have enjoyed a lot, and I look forward to interacting with you. Oh, he's traveling. Yeah, he's traveling. Dr. Dan is traveling. Apologies from him, but thank you so much, Dr. Dan. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, until we see you next time, enjoy your week.
God bless you.
Find
Bless you
the
guys.
find the recording on YouTube. We have the recording on YouTube. We have been streaming live on YouTube. Please, if you'd like to again listen through this conversation, please visit our YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll be able to listen in. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Thank you.